3, 2, 1.
Hey there, good looking. You don't know me and I don't know you. But we'll stare into each other's eyes for 10 minutes. And then we'll leave the room, quietly and nervously, and do the walk of shame back to the cafeteria. And if we do see each other again, we'll probably look the other way. Because really, after this, wouldn't that just be awkward? That's right. This is a hookup. Okay, you might think it inappropriate to mix forensics and pleasure. Or you might think, whoa, we are moving a little quickly for the first round. But if this doesn't sound like your idea of a hookup, then that's not surprising. And that is why we need to talk. See, our mistake is presuming that all hookups, like ours in this room, are sexual. What we don't realize is that hookup now defines our social, professional, and even family interactions. They've become just as impersonal and empty. That's right. It's not just strangers in the back rooms of dance clubs who have mastered the hookup. Although we'll tackle them too. It's colleagues who interact quickly and superficially. It's customer service that's been outsourced. And it's family and loved ones who get just a text from us. They really need something more. So first, let's examine how a shallow commitment to others can prove a fatal attraction. Next, we'll tease out the causes, which lurk in both technology and basic human psychology. Finally, we'll unhook from the problem with solutions that are more than skin deep. So, okay, we'll start out in the bedroom. We are having more one-night encounters where neither participant knows the other, and neither plans on building a long-term relationship. Make that any relationship. We're also getting started earlier. The American Academy of Pediatrics reports that nearly a third of 14-year-olds, along with 2/3 of 18-year-olds, have had sex. And then we graduate. Chloe Nolan, a Boston University student who shared her experiences with the Boston Globe, said, you feel hollow and empty the next day, hoping that the guy will call or text, knowing he won't, and then pretending to yourself and your friends that you don't care. But a call or text from a guy or girl won't solve our problems. Columbia University finds that hookup-happy students are more likely to have lower grades. I guess they're just too busy to study. Brigham Young University finds that beginning to have sex earlier sets a person up for medical problems later. No, that's wrong. Oh, whatever. And Daily Telegraph reports that beginning to have sex earlier sets a person up for medical problems later. One of these problems is HIV/AIDS. There are 40,000 new cases in the U.S. each year, and half of them occur between ages 15 and 24. But hookups infect our friendships too. Duke University finds that the number of friends or close contacts Americans feel they can discuss important matters with dropped from 2.94 in 1985 to just 2.08 in 2006. Robert D. Putnam, author of the book Bowling Alone, finds we know our neighbors less, interact with friends less frequently, and even socialize with family less often. Simply put, our interactions with our fellow human beings may be a mile wide, but they're just an inch thick. Sure, we may sit next to, and make small talk with a huge number of people, but we forget the true meaning of friendship. Ralph Waldo Emerson, if you'll pardon the expression, nailed it when he said that a friend is just a person with whom I may be sincere. Before him, I may think aloud. But in an age of neatly categorized work friends, school friends, and Facebook friends, his description doesn't sound too familiar. But perhaps the institution most harmed by the hookup mentality is parenting, with more and more men and women juggling career and family. Careers in our troubled economy becoming more and more distracting, children are often left by the wayside. And what time they do have is hardly quality time at all. It's quick and fleeting, just like a hookup. A 2003 white paper on crime showed that 60% of juvenile robbery offenders have no emotional contact with their families. Meanwhile, these children imitate what they see at home, eventually becoming absentee parents themselves. And the hookup cycle continues. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of group hugs, and I promise I'm not going to stalk you after the round. I'm not saying we should go up to complete strangers, ask them what their favorite color is, and all sing Kumbaya. We don't need to go overboard. But we do need more than we're getting. And we shouldn't fear a simple hello or basic human empathy. That's all Buddy Aiken needed. Aiken was diagnosed with HIV in 1992, before the advent of life-saving drugs. Thinking he had nothing left to lose, Aiken continued to have casual sex instead of searching for a more nurturing relationship. I fell into a cycle of one-night stands and no callbacks, says Aiken. The life of a leper. And what's more, Aiken did not disclose his HIV-positive status to his partners, destroying any chance of a lasting relationship, reinforcing the hookup cycle, and cutting himself off from the emotional connection that he so desperately needed. When we bury our souls at the same time as we reach out with our bodies, we become Buddy, in search of a buddy. So what is the cause of this disconnect? Let's start with technology and the quick and easy contact it offers. Sex is just a chat room away. A quick spin around Facebook shows most of us have 200, 300, even 1,000 friends. And our cell phones are bursting with numbers. Before these technologies existed, friends might go hours without even speaking to each other. We should have more and better relationships than ever before. The problem is these devices become like an EKG of our popularity. If our cell phones are ringing off the hook, if our inboxes are empty, and if our new Facebook friend doesn't add us within 5 minutes, we feel empty and rejected. And we fill the awkward silence with superficial chatter. Parents, meanwhile, can use text messages and cell calls as vital tools for monitoring their children's whereabouts. But now, they substitute for the human touch. And let's face it, we're afraid of rejection, not looking like our online photo. Where is the love? This quantity over quality approach won't cut it. How do we reconnect? Simple. Become more primitive. Humorist Terry Pratchett tells us that a text message has all the warm humanity of a thrown knife. But a letter, it's something you can hold in your hand. Don't just use whatever form of communication is most convenient for you. Use what conveys the most real feeling. Put the face back into Facebook. Next, just be yourself. Cliché? Yes, because it's true. And it means letting people know who you really are, not just your favorite books or your favorite quotes or your favorite movies. People are more than a list of likes and dislikes. And if you want to get to know them, you're going to have to let them get to know you too. So be like Buddy Aiken. Realize that disclosing his HIV status didn't push people away. It helped him to find a partner who's still with him today. Or be like Chloe Nolan, the Boston University student who stopped waiting for all those Mr. Right Nows to call back and is now engaged. Or better yet, be you. Don't treat people like vending machines, convenient, reliable, and disposable. Instead, treat them like a 5-star restaurant. Order everything on their menu and take the time to savor it. Speaking of time, looks like our little rendezvous has reached an end. But I don't feel the least bit ashamed or nervous. This is one hookup I won't regret. In fact, I feel pretty good about this whole thing. I hope it was good for you too.